Welcome to this week's community forum with our mayor, Joe Preston. Joe, how are you doing? How are you doing today?
Well, it's a beautiful sunny day, and I just rushed home to be on Mayor's Update. It'd be really wouldn't work well if the mayor didn't show up. So, but I was over at the Salvation Army Citadel where they're recognizing our fire, our EMS, St. John's Ambulance, our police. A beautiful community event with and you know how kids love to climb through fire trucks and police cars. So perfect. It was really a lot of fun and a beautiful day for it. It was supposed to be yesterday, but with the driving rain of yesterday, they just canceled it and put it on today, and still a full parking lot full of people. So it was fun to be there.
Absolutely. Well, let's start our show off with our trivia question to be entered into the draw for another print of Jumbo the Elephant. And the trivia question is, who was the first mayor of St. Thomas, Ontario? And the first person to answer that will be entered in the draw for the next art print that we'll have at the end of the month.
Right. And we talked about this question last week. Some of you had a chance to look this up, right? Shame on you if you didn't. But I recognize you don't spend your whole life thinking about Mayor's Updates trivia questions.
What?
Yeah,
this is shocking to me. Everyone should. If you're not, you should be. I'm saying.
Yeah.
There were Reeves before, but we're looking for the first mayor, Margaret. All right. So I had some questions this week about a bus update or a shuttle update to Amazon.
Yeah. I had a couple of people ask this question this week, and we're certainly working towards that end. We need to have it in place before Amazon, or shortly after Amazon starts to hire their employees. It'll take a critical mass of their employees to make it work. There will be people who have cars and other things, but we're working with London, conversations with London, conversations with our own transit company and within our city. Yeah, so we're having the conversations. We know we have to have the same conversation with the Maple Leaf Foods on the other side of London, same amount of employees, and some of them will work from St. Thomas. So we think we can turn this into a pretty decent regional transit thing. But transit doesn't pay for itself. Transit doesn't always pay for itself from the fare box. And so we're asking some of these companies, how can we help? How can you help? And how do we make a trip to London a lot easier, or a trip to Amazon or the other side of London?
Very good.
Yes, but no final details yet. Happy to share as soon as we can.
Perfect. We had some. I should have been more specific in the question. We're looking for the first mayor of the city. So we got the answer for who was the first mayor of the town of St. Thomas, which is M.T. Moore, and we'll add both of your names in for that.
We've got Brett Longfield with the correct answer,
and Brett Longfield has the correct one. So we'll put all three of you in for the draw. Because I should have been more specific. That is on me. So I'll put all three of you guys in there.
You just said first mayor, not the first mayor of the city of or town, right?
And I should have. Yep. Yeah. I should have said that. So
this just lets us make more people excited. So we're happy to do this.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Brett. That is the right answer. Dr. William Van Buskirk was the mayor of St. Thomas. And I'm happy to sit in. I don't think it's still his chair. I think we've renovated since then. So.
Well, you never know. I mean, it is St. Thomas. They don't really throw things out around here.
We're frugal. Yeah.
Well, he has a really strong touch and Scottish roots. So, I mean, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. What else is up this week? What else? You and I were both at a DDB meeting today, so we know of a lot of festivals and other things that are happening this summer. I was at the special events committee today, where we talked about the mural project, the 16th of is that July? It is
July. Yeah, it's the 16th of July. It's the mural festival.
Right. And we've approved all the things they're doing. The St. Thomas Art and Music Festival in August at Pinafore Park. Boy, they've rented the whole park, and are using as much as they possibly can for a significantly good arts and music festival at Pinafore Park. And I would love to see us, as the mayor, I'd love to see us using Pinafore Park for more of our festivals. Right?
Now,
so that was, yep.
Yeah, there was a rumor that there was another group that was also bringing a music festival to St. Thomas. Are they working with the Real Estate Arts and Music Festival, or is that one not go?
I've not heard of a second group. We have nothing before the special events committee on it. So,
all right, I'll go back to my sources on that.
Yeah, find out for the mayor, because he can make this work, or at least should know about it. Right? So there's lots of things happening this summer. We've obviously already set up Nostalgia Nights, our car show downtown. That's happening early in July, and just happy to see. St. Anne's Festival is another one that was at the special events committee tonight, or this afternoon. We all know that we don't do much with them but say yes, so they can flick a switch and do what they always do.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a couple of years since we've been able to do it. So St. Anne's Festival, June 1st to 4th. Yes. Perfect. We've got busyness a lot of weekends, Graydon. I'm already checking off my schedule as to is there an empty mayor's weekend here that I can go up to the cottage and do that, because there's great events in St. Thomas all the time.
Totally. And there's one coming up on May 7th. I got a message about it, and it's for Fresh Start. They're doing an open house, and the first 30 moms that come and visit, they're going to get a Mother's Day package. It's from 8 to 12 p.m. That's this Saturday at their new location at 797 Talbot Street. They say, bring your kids, make and take a craft, learn about their programs and supports.
Yes,
so that's pretty exciting.
Well, that's fantastic. And it's a great service. So it's great to go on down and visit that organization. We have somebody asked us about Mural Fest. Will there be people explaining them? Okay, well, they're great big pictures on walls. I'm just kidding. That's what I'm doing.
There's talks about it, so I think there's potentially yes, but I'm not sure they've finalized all the details.
And I think there's somewhat of a passport or a go see each one of them, so there'll be something explaining what it is you're going and seeing. But with a center downtown at the tourism train station, and there will be some murals being created that weekend, is my understanding. So perfect way to see it, and can do it, right?
There will be. I'm actually part. Oh yeah.
Timothy Hedden has joined us, so apparently we can now start.
Okay, so this is the pre-show, and now we're into the real show.
Yeah. Right.
So yes, and at the Mural Festival, artists are going to be painting. So I'm actually going to be painting a mural at the Horton Farmers Market during that time. Yeah, it's super exciting. There's more news. I'll let you know more news about that as I can.
A stalk of rhubarb? What will you be painting? No,
it'll be a downtown scene. So like I've been working on a bunch of different studies of downtown St. Thomas, and then I'm going to make them into very massive murals. This is one you can see here.
Oh, that's a beautiful downtown one, and you're going to do something like that, but massive. Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
can the mayor be standing out front of City Hall?
I can make that happen. Absolutely. That would be fantastic.
Timothy has asked that I go over what a mural is again. Okay. So you saw what Graydon just showed you. It's that bigger and on a wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually massive scale. So if you've been to the library, you've seen the mural on the side of the like both sides of the library actually have murals.
Yes.
So just like that.
It's like a mural sandwich at the library.
It totally is. And then there's delicious books inside where you can get all the knowledge you could ever need.
Incredible. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Stephanie's bringing me snacks.
Is there
lucky?
Yeah. I just walked in the door and ran straight upstairs to do mayor's update. So we should cover off some more of the things that are going to happen. Timothy says, unfortunately, he can't pose nude for your mural. Okay, sorry, he was busy that weekend. We have got other things that happened this week. It was a flag raising on Tuesday morning for the Canadian Mental Health Association. And it's a group we work a lot with in town. And so we're really pleased to have been able to recognize them, read a proclamation about our work and their work with Canadian Mental Health and the Addictions Ontario group that are now joined together with Canadian Mental Health. Our community is so much better because they're there. A couple of other flag raisings coming up, or proclamations coming up. We have the Mental Health Week. We have the May 15th to 21st. So coming up on a flag raising in the following week, Victims and Survivors of Crime Week. and a flag will be raised in the week of May 15th to 21st. And some people are very, very anxious because the Child Cancer Awareness Month is September, but they've already got the application in, and we're ready to go on that. Some other neat things. We recognized Eid Mubarak is from our new Muslim mosque, and the end of Ramadan, and so that was recognized. You know what's coming up May 11th?
What's that?
McHappy Day.
May-
Yeah. The mayor is waiting for his invite still, but May 11th is McHappy Day, and they do a great job. McDonald's does as McHappy Day, and the funds all go to Ronald McDonald House. And if you've been in a family that's had a child in a hospital, Ronald McDonald House is an incredible charity. So we thank them for that. So that's a lot of the stuff we did at council this week also. So we've shared with what's going on in the city.
Absolutely.
Renee said we need to do much more mental health, especially downtown. Absolutely. And we've got CMHA working with us on it. The city itself doesn't have healthcare as part of its responsibility. So we call on CMHA, Addictions Ontario, the Central Community Health Center.
Yes.
And other healthcare providers, including Indwell, who provide mental health and addiction services and health services in their projects, and the new one coming up on Queen Street, and of course what's happening at the Inn. So
absolutely. And we have a special guest next week, Judith from CCHC, and she's going to share what they do in our community, especially in connection to like the Rail City Lofts and other programs that they run.
Right. So we're looking forward to talk about how, and this is what the city does from a healthcare point of view. And we get a lot of conversation about that from some of the citizens of St. Thomas. Why aren't you doing more? Well, our job is not to do healthcare. It really isn't. We don't have the function as a city to do healthcare. So what we do is go out and cooperate with other groups that do, and help them do their job easier by helping them ways to do it, or places to do it, or involving them in groups like Indwell and the In Out of the Cold. So
absolutely. And that's the thing that we need to talk about more, is letting, so people know who's responsible for it. And some of that came up at an all candidates meeting that was run by the Poverty Coalition earlier this week. And by earlier this week, I mean yesterday.
Yeah.
So
because that would be earlier this week.
But yeah, that's some of the stuff.
And it was good that the Poverty Coalition got out in front of this provincial election to really talk about what is the difference, how to do it, and really ask some of those questions. Poverty is a cause for some of the situations we're seeing, but mental health and addictions are also a cause for the poverty. And so we have to work together as a whole group. And food security is another thing that represents what's happening there, whether it's the food bank or other situations that help with that. But if we all just sit there and watch the other guy do it and think that's going to be enough, it doesn't work. But if we collectively, I sit on the Poverty Coalition Steering Committee too. If we do work together, and I'll take no credit for the great work they do, but I'm happy to be there to help them connect with the city functions of housing and social services and such. And so we can't ignore the problem, but it sure does work better when 5 or 6 groups are working on it rather than an individual group thinking they're the best at it and not working with the rest of us. This is what we need to do. St. Thomas has been working great, right? By working together. And we are growing significantly, but we'll do better because we are, right? Yeah. Somebody's asking me about the micro apartments above the transit building. Well, that's an Indwell run project, saying it's a mess, and some of the apartments have been wrecked and need to be repaired, and they are all often with Indwell, and they will continue to be. The new shelter should have security, and I've been threatened walking past there. Well, we've got some great downtown security pieces coming up, and we'll let the chief share them with the community, and we'll then talk about a new special constable program we're using downtown. That will be part of the street security piece, along with what we currently have with beat cops
Mhm.
and patrol officers like Catherine McNeil does a great job. And we're also looking for more from the MOST team. We share that with CMHA also, and that's part kind of half security and half mental health assistance. So we're doing all of that. But what I feel pretty comfortable of what we've been able to do with Indwell in the sense of the Rail City Lofts and what they do as a not-for-profit with wraparound services, mental health and addiction work. 45 more units under construction on Queen Street with us, with the city. And we're looking forward to housing 45 more people who are homeless with troubles like mental health and addictions. And we think that if the city continues to work with other groups who are in the field like that, like we said, the cooperation among groups is the absolute answer for us to be able to continue to grow our downtown and take care of the most vulnerable in our community. We just can't say no. We have to say yes. How do we do it? Yes is the answer. What's the next step we have to take? What will it cost, and who has to work together on it? And it's great to have a not-for-profit like Indwell here helping us.
Absolutely. And like right now, during an election run is a good time to talk to your provincial candidates about all of this stuff, because they are
Right.
the ones that have the mandate to help with mental health and healthcare in general. And that's my understanding. Is that correct?
Agreed. And I have to say thank you to Jeff Urick, our previous member of provincial parliament, and let's question the ones who are running for that job, because in the last 4 years, my term as mayor, the provincial government has stepped up time after time. We would not have the shelter we have if the province hadn't stepped up and helped us move out of Central United, which was never going to be a permanent shelter. So we needed to find a place for good shelter. We've doubled the amount of beds in our shelter by doing that. The Rail City Lofts was a great contribution from the provincial government on a city-owned building. We had the land, and that's what they asked for. If you have land or buildings that can be remodeled, how can we help you do that so that we can move people off the street into a house, into housing first? In this case, housing with complete wraparound supports, and that's what we'll also be doing with their help over at the Queen Street Center with 45 more beds, 45 more micro apartments or apartments. So we do have to. It's a provincial government that helps us with the healthcare setting in St. Thomas, but also with our housing costs and how we can move forward. I'm very pleased of what we've been able to accomplish. It's not done. We've got a lot more to do. Right? And groups like Canadian Mental Health and Addictions Ontario do that with us, right? And Brett, thank you for saying so too. Yes.
Absolutely. Another question was coming in was about garbage cans. It keeps popping up on social media. People are looking for more garbage cans in the city, whether it's like downtown or in places like Athletic Park.
Well, we've tried to make sure that there's trash cans on the exit to all of the trails and all of the parks. We will put more in downtown. They've arrived, and I think you'll see over the next couple of weeks more trash cans, 25 more in the downtown. That will make a difference to our downtown. But geez, what's the furthest you'll walk carrying a piece of trash before you'll throw it on the ground? I know in my mind, it's the next trash can, right? So that we're also looking at along our trails. It's very hard for us to put a trash can every 15 meters or 20 meters. We have a garbage truck that can drive down the trail, right? So we put the trash cans at the end of the trail, knowing you entered a trail at one end, and as you cross a cross street where we can actually do trash removal, right? That's where we'll put more trash cans there too. So like Athletic Park, it's not that there's no trash cans, or Pinafore Park over the winter months. There's trash cans at the exit to the park, back to the Lake Margaret Trail, or at the front going out onto Elm Street. So you carried the stuff in, had your picnic, drank your Tim Hortons coffee, whatever it might be. It's okay. Carry it to that next trash can. We're okay if you do that. We're hearing that you'd like more, so we're putting some more in, but we also have to be able to service those trash cans with our staff too.
So were you saying there's 24 more trash cans coming to downtown St.
Downtown?
Thomas?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think that'll address.
I think they were arriving last Friday, or they were arriving early this week, but we'll get them out as part of this. Look, May 1st of every year, and I think we're on the 5th of May today, but May 1st of every year, we go on a complete kind of blitz for downtown. We've hired on or put in place the city staff that are out now doing cleanup, litter pickup, sharps removal, winter trash accumulation. So that's now working. The DDB has hired its summer students. They'll start in June, and that will complement from a litter point of view downtown. But we're also now putting the street sweeper through downtown St. Thomas a number of times, putting out some new trash cans, and the new police special constables. So to be ready for the summer and the activity that grows on Talbot Street in the summertime months, with the activities and some of the special events we talked about, and all of those customers for the new businesses that we're seeing downtown. So we'll continue to do our best to make downtown a hospitable place. I recognize there still are some addiction troubles and mental health troubles, and the police chief and I will continue to talk about what the next steps are on those. But we keep not being able to count on the courts from a release point of view, a catch and release as we call it. But so was I corrected? Is it May 4th today?
It's May 4th, yeah.
Oh, well, may the 4th be with me. Yes. Boy, I haven't got to say that all day, and it's already 7:00 at night.
I know.
That's great.
Another cool thing that's happening is the DDB downtown photo contest. So if anyone has a photo of the downtown that looks great, you can enter it into the competition, and the grand prize is 1,000 downtown development board dollars. So it's just like cash in any of the stores downtown that accept the dollars, which is most of them. So for example, Food Basics accepts downtown dollars, so you could go and buy $1,000 worth of groceries if you wanted to. You go to Streamliners and get a coffee. You can go to Myrtle and buy some clothes. You can go to any of those stores.
Oil change on your car. There's 2 places downtown that do that, and you're right. You can use it for all your personal use. Right?
And there's 4 or 5 other prizes of $250 of the downtown dollars. So if you have some really good photos, please submit them. I would love to submit. I can't. I'm on the board, so I'm ineligible. So they're posting my photos as examples, but I can't actually enter any of my photos to win this money. But I would if I could. So please, take advantage of this and make us proud.
Yeah, and I wanted to go back, Margaret. Thank you for saying such a nice thing about Stephanie. I know she's been doing a lot of mental health work of her own on Facebook, and we all know Stephanie is bipolar, and so sometimes has great days and sometimes doesn't. But she gives open advice, the same as the mayor does, about how to help other people. I know she wanted to say something today, but I'll say it for her. She wanted to thank the city trash people. Today, look, it's been not great, and last week she's been not able to get as much stuff done as she wants, and so this week she went out with her 4 bags of garbage, which we know she's not allowed, but they were very good. The trash people today in helping Stephanie out, and she was wanted to make sure that got said.
Yeah.
Stephanie, they can't hear you because I'm using the microphone on my headset. So,
okay.
But I wanted to thank all of those that have been listening in and listening to Stephanie's mental health advice, and to also know that we know what it's like. In this house, we know what mental health can do and how hard it can be. Stephanie's favorite saying to me is, "You don't understand," and I don't always. I just don't. She suffers in a way that I cannot imagine because I don't. Right. So thank you, Stephanie, for helping teach me. Yeah.
Thank you.
She says thanks.
It's a garbage. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal for her to get the help from our local garbage people today. And sometimes that's all it takes to make your day better. Thanks, Stephanie, for bringing me coffee and snacks. Wow, I'm doing Mayor's Update from home more often. This is great.
There's definite bonuses.
Right. She and it's special to hear and do it. I'm sorry, but you should see our house right now.
Mhm.
We're moving next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know where anything is because half of the stuff I've packed I wanted, now it's already in a box. There's boxes everywhere. And, I wore a golf shirt and pants to work because it's the best I could find. And we'll see what's in the closet for tomorrow.
And where are you moving, Mary Jo? Are you allowed to
We're
say, or are you
moving
keeping
into,
this
yeah,
under wraps?
I'm happy to say we're moving into the new apartment at Elma Estates, at where Elma College used to be. I had some real difficulties around Christmas this year of vertigo, which really it's kind of a dizziness situation, and migraine headaches, and I actually fell down the stairs, right? And so we're really looking to make sure we're moving out of this house that has stairs into an apartment that's all one floor, and the it's a lot smaller. So we're trying to make it work a lot better for us that way. But there's a little bit going to the Salvation Army and the Bibles for Missions and other places with some of our extra stuff this week too. So yeah.
Right on. We should also mention Drinking Habits, who are sponsoring these messages here, because they were sponsored by Williams Funeral Home, which is a fantastic funeral home. My family has been going there for generations.
Right.
And this is a play that's happening at the Princess Ave Theater from June 2nd to 12th, 2022, this year. So get your tickets out. Fantastic time and support local theater.
Yes. It's fun. Support local theater. It's a lot of fun to do. And getting out into some non-reality one night and just laughing at a good play is a great thing to do for your anxiety also. So, all right. Well, thank you for those of you that are saying it's a good move. I also feel I'm a little old. Could say it that way. I don't want to cut grass anymore either. I mean, that's really another thing. I've got a lot of work to do with my business, with Stephanie, with being mayor. I can skip cutting the grass, so I'm looking forward to living in an apartment and not having to do that.
No, that makes sense. I probably might be in the same boat. I don't know. I come from a farming background, so it's like, do you give up the farm? Like, I don't know. Like that's
well, as long as I've got good country places to visit. For those of you who know, we own a cottage also, and so we do go out into rural Ontario also, and it keeps refreshing our mind that way too. But you can't do all of one thing. It's just I'm not sure I could live in a big high rise in downtown Toronto and see nothing but concrete. But St. Thomas, that's a beautiful place. The Whistle Stop Trail comes right by there, and we can go to work to City Hall from there. It'll be
that's
great.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else have we got? Anything else big at council this week?
That's our list for events and messages in from our viewers here.
Yeah, we've already said most of the stuff on what happened to council this week. Not a hugely busy week, but the city continues to grow. We continue to have to look at how are we managing that and what are we doing. The other thing we're finding this year, we'll maybe talk a little bit about it in future meetings as we get more of the RFPs back for some of the work we've put out. We've got a couple great construction projects going on, but they're not coming in cheap. There's a lot of construction going on, and inflation has really hit the construction side too. So our promise to do more capital expenditures every year, we're keeping. But boy, it's tough to find the lower quotes like we might have been able to in the past. So we'll continue to do the good work to replace the parts of our city that need to be replaced. Yes.
Very good. Well, I think next week people should definitely be tuning in, and we're going to go a little later, 7:30. And like we were saying, we're going to have Judith Wiley from CCHC join us to talk about what they're doing in the community and explain a little bit about the health care that they provide, which it's pretty phenomenal. It's something that we don't really talk about, and most people don't know who they are or how they can access their services. So we want to share that.
Great, and we got great help from this group, from our audience, from the people that really tune into us, and I'd like to ask them another one. Who would you like to see on Mayor's Update? We know there's a couple councillors that we haven't had on yet, so I'm holding off on them. But you tell us which ones you'd like to see. We can do that. Is there anybody else in the community that you'd like to see us chat with? We've done the police chief and our city manager, and a number of other people. But let's ask. if you have any great ideas, leave it in the comment section. We'll know it. We'll be able to go out and ask those people. It will really swell their heads if it's another councillor, because they'll say, "Oh, I got to get on Mayor's Update now." So, and yeah, I know we've had Councillor Peters on a couple times because he's always a fun guest. He's got all the great history stuff. So there's a couple of others we probably should, before we start getting into close to election time for the mayor and the council, get us more on so you can kind of learn who they are too. I think that's a great idea. So please leave us your thoughts and ideas too. Is there a local businessman you'd like to hear from? Is there somebody else prominent in our community that you'd like to hear from? Let's have that conversation too. And the other one I thought of great is maybe we should have a transit night.
Oh, I like that.
We could have Justin or the person responsible for transit at City Hall come on and answer the transit questions. And how did we get to where we are? Why that's good? I read a story this week. We were the first or second community to use the digital app for our transit system, where you call the bus instead of the bus running a route the whole time, right? The 7th community in Ontario came on this week. Leamington also went to that system, where instead of running routes with empty buses, you run your main routes and then use an app on phones, or a phone-in app, to get a bus to come to where you are, instead of following a regular route. Now, it can also follow a route after it picks you up to take you where you're going to pick up someone else. And combining that with our paratransit, we were having some very good success with it. We've had some people say, but I couldn't get paratransit for the exact time I wanted. Well, it doesn't work that way, folks. Yes, we would love to take everybody where they're going, right, at exactly the same time, right? But that's called a cab.
Yeah.
Right. Transit is, if we can do it 15 minutes before or 15 minutes after, that's how transit works. So we'll continue to try and do it that way. Someone says, I would so love to have a train to and from London. Yes, wouldn't I? All right. That we had the old LMPS track that CN likes to use for its freight and doesn't like anybody else on it. And we're working with them still on how to maybe fix that. And somebody is offering, since it is construction season, I tried to go down First Ave today, and of course it's closed off it for us because we're doing it very right. What a great chance for us to run a bus a different way and see if it's got a more popularity. So you're right, Brett. That is a great idea for us to try out some new things. We would like to, before we get into next winter, have tried what else might we change on transit that costs us no more to do. That's the secret with transit. Transit's already a very expensive service offered by the city, and we'd love to get the best service we can get for the bang for our buck, which really means how do we get more people to ride it? So
yep, absolutely.
Well, we could take some film of transit, Brett. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe Grady and Joe should head out on a bus and do Mayor's Update traveling around the city. We could just keep going to the DRT and saying, "Oh, now take us to caps off. Now take us to
love it.
We'd love to explain to some are really getting how this system works, and others I stood at the bus stop and the bus didn't come. You're right. There's not a route there anymore. It's a bus stop that we can come to on demand. Right. So we'll talk some more about that and try and help everybody with that too. Braden, thank you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
That's been a good update. And thanks for all the questions, everyone.
We could do the transit crawl. What can we take on the bus? No. I never thought of it. Okay. Mayor's Update on the bus tonight. Load the bus. Let's go. Ask your questions. Right?
I love the idea. We could pick up different people, have them for a chat. It's like, and then they would get off. It's comedians and cars getting coffee, but in St. Thomas with the transit system.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could go to all the different like coffee shops.
Yeah.
It'd be very like high strung by the end of it.
Right. 20 minutes. Come get us again. We're off to the next place. Yeah. Well, we'll work on that, but we really need your ideas of other thoughts for shows. I love the talk, and we talked tonight about mental health in the downtown and what else we can do. I'm not suggesting there's not limits. There is. We can continue to make things better. And I'd like to, I'm writing a bit of a story on housing in St. Thomas and what we've done over the last 4 years. Because if you stop and look at where we were 4 years ago with a shelter that was barely open and certainly wasn't year round, and it wasn't, and where we've come with Indwell and the supportive housing and what we think that means to our community, how it's helped. Somebody said, do something about mental health. Yeah, well, that's what we've done about mental health, because inside Indwell, there's those opportunities to help with mental health and addictions. So
absolutely. And for anyone who hasn't watched before, like the Annex is another place that's opening up that's going to help with mental health and addictions and get people the support they need.
Yeah, we had Jeannie and Donna, and they talked all about this. And they have their occupancy permit and the furniture in. They're about to open now with the Annex, which will help us with rehab and detox and a lot of the problems we face in St. Thomas. Great to see organizations helping us, and we'll continue to support them and help them.
Absolutely. All right, Mayor Joe, have a great night. Thanks to all our viewers, our sponsors, and everyone watching.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye.